Alright, welcome everybody back to Dad's Coffee Break. My name is James, and today I am taking a break to play some Kingdoms and Castles. Kingdoms and Castles is actually a indie city builder game that came out in 2017, I believe. And really what you do is you grow a small medieval city, build up the walls around it, and defend yourself against I think both Viking raids and dragon raids. So that's what we're going to be playing today, starting a new Let's Play series here on the channel. I've been looking forward to playing this one. I actually spent a lot of time in this game back a few years ago, or maybe a couple years ago, around the time when it first came out. And I haven't played it too much since. I picked it up just a couple months ago to play it again, but I only did one quick playthrough. So we're going to be playing it on standard mode, which is, grow the kingdom, defend yourself. And I'm going to be doing it on Vintar, on hard. More raids, more dragons, possible to lose if happiness goes too low. And just keep it interesting. Okay, so first you are given the world to select. And this actually looks pretty good, because what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to be able to provide our people with stone, wood, and land that is good for farming. Beyond that, there's other resources that we're going to need to look into, like iron, and if there's a coastline we can fish. You'll see the fish in that lake right there. You'll see a ton of fish off the coast here. And then we're also going to want to set up a space where we can defend ourselves. So we're going to want to be able to build up walls around our hamlet and be able to hold off against any sort of Viking raids or dragon raids. The thing to keep in mind too with the raids is that they can attack. So Vikings can attack across water. So if they wanted to, they could just come straight up, land on this beach, take our city. So we can't really block off sections of the map with wall. We can't wall from this point of water to the lake here and expect us to be protected. So that's something to keep in mind. And then dragons, they fly. So really you can't, walls aren't going to protect you against dragons, but there are other means with which we can protect ourselves. So those are things we're going to want to take into account. For the sake of this game, I'm thinking this map actually looks pretty good, especially with the amount of forested area over here. Zoom down a little bit. We have some stone here. That yellowish stone is what we're going to be able to extract. There's even more over here. And we have really fertile land. The greener that the soil is, the more fertile the land. So maybe we'll start over here, be able to take advantage of this stone, be able to cut down all of these trees, and then we can set up a forester and expand this way while building out our farms in this patch of land. That might be a good way to go. That or over here. I don't know. Now let's do this side. Okay, but either way, this world looks good, so we'll go ahead and accept. Choose your banner. We're just going to use the default. That's fine. Oh, okay. Stone. Hello. Okay. So now it comes time to put down our hamlet. And it gives us the notification that says, hey, build your keep near fertile land, trees, and stone. So I think that's what we're going to do. I think we're going to put it down right here. And yes, we do see the stone. Thank you very much. So we'll go ahead, pull up the castle menu, find keep, and we'll build our keep, and we'll go right here. So then we start off with 5 citizens, but that'll grow over time as people visit and stay in our kingdom, and as we build up more and more houses. So so we have 12 wood right now. What we need first is, if we click on the town button, we're going to need a road. So I'm going to put down road right here. I think that'll be good starting position. And then we'll let them build that out. Now the roads do take wood. but it's only one wood to start, and we have enough. I'm also going to order up the chopping of these trees to get additional wood, because farms will also take wood, and then we will need, at least I believe so, yeah. And then we will also need wood to put down our quarry, about 15 units. So we want to get down a quarry, the roads, we'll want to get down a farm or two, and then we also want to build housing, which is, as you can see, that they actually have a notification that our people are homeless above their head. So that's something that we'll want to get down. I am going to build a quarry first just to get our woodcutters going, and I'm also going to put this on speed 2. We have enough food right now that we can survive for a minute or two, so I'm not going to build a farm quite yet. But what I will do is I think build the road down here, and then we'll put our first hamlet right there. And what my plan is to expand a lot of the industry and the buildings out this way while keeping this area for farming. So we'll let them do that. And as we build up houses, so you'll see idle colonists or idle citizens here, and then available beds underneath it. You'll notice that this bed number will increase as soon as this, I think it's a hovel, is built. I believe that should house all of the colonists right now. But as we build up more houses, if there's empty beds, then people visiting will fill those if they can, and if the happiness level is high enough. So we'll build another one right now. I'm also going to build, well, I can't. Gotta wait on our wood production. But that'll at least make it so anybody visiting will stay in our town. So now we have 10 available beds. And you'll notice here the yearly report. So you'll notice they said, "My lord, 2 people visited, but none could find a home, so nobody stayed." So as time goes on, we'll actually have people stay. I'm going to click on the advisors. Agriculture advisor gives you, information about farming, so we'll need farms. The city advisor gives you advice around your city, and then military, obviously, around military. They're good to have around for if you're new to the game or getting started, or like myself, I haven't played in a little while. Okay, I'm going to build a farm. Maybe 2. And then the other thing that we'll want to build is a forester. Okay, and then, my lord, 2 people visited, but only 1 found a satisfactory home and decided to stay. So, while not great, we did increase our population by 1, so we now have another person working. So like I mentioned, what we'll also need is a forester, which if we go to our industry tab, takes about 15 wood and 5 stone. If we look at our quarry, it looks like we don't have any workers here at the moment, so we're not producing any stone. But what we can do is we can actually go to this menu down in the bottom left-hand corner, hit job priority, and you'll notice that it actually lays out all the jobs and the priority that individuals would work them. So what I'm going to do is, timber is fine, I don't think we need help, but I am going to put quarry workers above timber, and then that way we'll get some people working that quarry and start producing some stone. Okay, so we have enough wood and stone to build a forester, so we'll go ahead and select forester from the menu. It states that it's too far away from our roads, and I believe it also needs to use usable trees, so I'm thinking we'll actually come down here instead of going over here for our forester. So what I'm going to do, I could build it right there, but I want to get it a little bit farther away from all the center buildings. So I'm going to build a road out here. It doesn't need to be on the road, which is nice, but it needs to be at least a little closer. And then we will go right here. I think that'll be fine. I'm starting to build out my town a little bit more. We have about 13 citizens, and the food reserve is starting to get a little bit low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build another farm. And then I'm going to build out more hovels down this way. The other thing that we could do is wait until we get access to the cottage, which will actually allow us to house up to 12 peasants. And it's actually, people enjoy this house more, so they'll be happier. So what I think I'll do is actually build one of these instead. Hovels house up to 5 villagers. Residents are somewhat happy, but cottages are a little bit better. And then the manor is the best house, and you'll notice that it needs both wood, or needs wood, stone, and gold for that in order to build that. But the peasants are happiest, and it'll actually yield more in terms of what's called tax revenue. And we'll get to that a little bit later. We'll also want to put down some stockpiles, which I'll do right there. We also want to build a granary so we can house food during the winter, which I will put right here. And we're going to want to build a charcoal maker so houses can warm themselves during the wintertime, which is right here. Which I believe I'm going to do over here. Reason being is that people will become unhappy if the charcoal maker is too close to their house because they don't like the smoke. We'll just finish out the roads that way. We don't have many workers for our forester quite yet, but I think people are just collecting the wood out that way that we had chopped earlier. I think we'll also clear the wood over here, but we'll give our workers a chance to catch up. What we will also want to consider is building up our defenses. Like I mentioned at the beginning, there is the possibility of a Viking raid and a dragon attack. So things that we can use to defend ourselves are a castle block, which is essentially a segment of a castle wall, a stone castle wall, or a wood castle block, which is a wooden wall. I think what we'll do is probably start with the wooden wall just so we can get them up faster and then expand from there. But as we continue to expand our town, bring in more money, bring in more people, we unlock, oh, there we go. Michaelopolis is now a small village. Starting to get the hang of this governing thing. Cool. But yeah, so as we grow, we're going to need to put in more and more defenses, including things like an archer tower, ballista tower, or even training squadron of archers or squad of soldiers. We now have about 30 citizens, so we're going pretty quickly. We've put down more farms just to make sure we have enough food to make it through the winter, and we're still pretty borderline as far as that goes. But the other thing that we're going to want to consider getting is a well, which will enable the townspeople to be able to put out any fires, and a town square, which actually allows them to have celebrations and things like that. So we'll put that down right here. And that'll make a lot of the citizens happy. Beyond that, a tavern is something that goes a long way towards citizen happiness as well. And you'll notice that both health and happiness are down here in the corner. We got about average of 67 points of happiness out of 100, and then about 53 on our health score. There can be plague, which is mediated by having clinics and hospitals. But health is also increased by having different sources of food and meats. Okay, with that in mind, I am also going to build... I don't think I can build it because of that. Oh, and there we go, there's a fire. Charcoal maker is on fire, so just gonna build our tavern right here. And your town does grow pretty quick. You'll notice that we're already up to 38 citizens. So as long as you're doing a good job keeping people relatively happy, your town does grow. But once it reaches a certain point, that's when you start having the need to defend yourself. So we need to start looking towards that. Oh my gosh. Let's go ahead and not do that. Okay, What I generally like to do, or at least in the past, what I do is start building an outline of where the wall will be with individual blocks, individual wood castle blocks, and then slowly fill it in around it. And then if we get the ability to build archer towers on top of these, or ballistas. Let me build out this way to start. As time goes on, yeah, I think that'll be good. As time goes on, I tend to expand out and just build new segments of wall. But at least to begin, this will give us a nice baseline for our inner city, if you will. Right there. Maybe we'll go like right there. Bring the wall around here. I'm also going to order up cutting down these trees. I may leave some of them in case I want to put another forester around there, but I think for right now, I'll just take the wood. Cool. So that's going to be the outline of our defense. So we'll have the wall go straight up from here, across here, follow this coastline down to here, to here, to here, and back around. We'll also add our bed limit, so I'm going to go ahead and build a couple more cottages. There's two right there. And then we will build our roads. So we have a good supply of wood, good supply of stone coming in. We do need more food, so I'll build up more farms. We can also get access to an orchard, which will give us fruit. Which I'll put, well, that's going to interfere with our wall, so maybe what I'll do is I'll put it over here. And like I said, we may expand the wall out a little bit, but we do want to be able to defend ourselves for right now. And we'll want produce storage, which I'll probably put right here since I can't build a farm there anyway. Okay, our orchard is up. Oh, and we can now build the treasury room, which allows us to tax people within our town. And that's how we generate gold. So we'll go ahead, we'll build one right there and start getting some gold income, which is much needed at this point. And with that, I fully anticipate that we will be seeing a first raid come through pretty quickly. I think the enemy can actually sneak through this, but we'll see. Again, it's been a little while since I've played, but I think the enemy can go through there. Okay, we'll finish this wall off. What I might do too is actually put the road's kind of coming out this way, so hold on, let's pause. Gonna demolish that, put a gate up there. I'll let them build those walls. Excellent. Our treasury room is up. We now want to take a look at job priority because I don't have anybody working it. Well, I have 3 now, but let's take a look. Tax collectors are very low. And I think what we're going to do is actually move them up. We have builders, farmers, granary workers, orchardists, marketeers. Marketeer can go down a little bit. Let's put the tax collectors right underneath the quarry workers. And maybe the timber workers. Food's going to be important, so I want to keep them up there. But I think that's probably a good event planner. Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, we do have a first dragon attack. So this dragon is going to attack. Unfortunately, we're not really set up to deal with it quite yet. This dragon is going to attack, probably light some stuff on fire, kill a couple citizens, and then leave. So yeah, they're probably. Did you see the dragon? We should probably build defenses. Yep, there it goes. So house on fire. Though I think it's leaving now. So unfortunately, we didn't have defenses really in place in order to kill the dragon off or defend ourselves against the dragon. So there will be a happiness hit as a result. But hopefully next time we'll be ready for him. So you'll notice that there's now a timer on the next dragon attack. So that dragon will be back in about 9 years, which tends to go pretty quick. And probably about halfway through that, I'm anticipating we'll have some Viking raids too. We'll increase taxes by 5%, maybe 10%, start bringing in some gold, but you'll notice that the happiness will drop considerably as a result. Maybe we'll start with just 5 and see how that goes. And then you'll also notice that more and more build options have opened up. Like we'll get access to the fire brigade, and then we get access to things like cemeteries, churches, hospitals, even a bathhouse, great library, and a cathedral. So things to really build up your city and make them quite impressive as you defend yourself against raid after raid after raid. And yeah, and then you just see how long you can hold out. So that is pretty much the basis of Kingdoms and Castles. And we're playing it on hard, like you saw. So we'll see how long we can hold out for. But so far, we have a really good initial setup and a good amount of citizens living in our town. So I think we'll be in pretty good position. Okay, and here's the Viking raid. So with that, as the Vikings invade, I am actually going to call it a day and leave that for episode 2. But I hope you guys are enjoying the series. This is going to be a new one that we play on the channel. Probably won't last too long. I don't expect it to be a 20 episode Let's Play, at least. It'd be surprising if it does. But yeah, expect more episodes to be coming out. Like I mentioned in my channel update video, I am going to be producing videos a little bit more slowly the second half of December. So anticipate about 3 videos a week. I think both this and Paraspora will be the ones filling that gap. And then come January, I'm going to be doing another Kingdoms Reborn Let's Play and maybe Surviving Mars. But we will see. But I hope you guys are enjoying Kingdoms and Castles. Please like and subscribe if you are, so you can stay tuned for the next episode of our Let's Play. All right, guys. Hope you all are doing well, and I'll talk to you later.